Hello class. Here's another video to help you with the beginning portions of understanding your activity guide. So I've posted a lot of other videos that I recorded from my face-to-face class last semester, and the material's almost exactly the same except for these first couple pages. So there's a couple different things that I'll go over. Alright, but I'll make videos for this class and along with the ones from my face-to-face class. So you guys will have plenty of information on how to do the required materials. First of all, before every assignment, we have this pre-class assignment. All right, what it is, it has a video attached to it. It's really simple stuff that introduces you to the topic. I have this and every other assignment for Unit 1 to be due at midnight, 6/13. Okay? And you have to get a 70 on each assignment before you can take the test in MyMathLab. There's instructions for taking the test I posted on our online circle. So I'm going to go ahead and skip over these two because I talk about them a lot in my other video. And just talk about this, simply putting these in the calculator. I will use this calculator throughout the class because it's the Windows calculator. It's the easiest one for me to get to. Okay. The calculators that you guys do a lot is the these ones right here. This TI-30, and notice I talk about them in my other video, my other scientific notation video. So this is the calculator most students use, okay, and I refer to it in my other video, which is posted right here on your Google Online Circle, Math 104 Online, right here. It's called the Unit 1 Scientific Notation. Notice I have some other videos posted, order of operations. I put some Khan Academy stuff on here, which is very useful, interval notation and formulas, the next topic, and so on. And here's a couple classmates. Okay? So let's go on. There's MyMathLab, and here is what most people's calculator looks like. You don't have to use this calculator. You could use one of these real simple ones if you need to. Alright? So I'll come down here, I'll pull up the assignments. So notice here I have clicked the show all button. Make sure you click the show all button. So for you guys, you'll hit this homework tab and you want to make sure and click the show all and even view all on one page. You can see, notice there's 62 assignments. This is for the entire summer. I have the first block right here is due by 6/13. So all these assignments are due by 6/13. The test over Unit 1 will be 6/15 is when it is due. All right? Which make sure you click the show all button. Mine is not coming up because you have to get all the prerequisites done before you can take the test. Okay, notice I have I have 4 due dates. There's 4 units, so I have everything due on one day, 6/13. Notice the second unit goes pretty quick. It's due 6/20, so a week later. But there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 assignments, and then you'll have another exam. Then I have the next batch due 7/3. I did it the night before 4th of July. That's a Thursday night because there's classes, the university's closed that Friday. So I have those due 7/3. Notice there's a lot of assignments there on 7/3. So this is the last one of Unit 3, right here, this mixture problems, and then Unit 4 starting. So they're due 7/18. That is the week before finals. Okay, that's the Friday before finals. So notice, oh, I didn't view all. You want to view all on one page. There we go. Right, and notice 7/18 is when your last assignments are due. So you got lots of homework to do within basically 6 weeks. All right, because we have to leave room for the final. All right, that's that. Now let's jump back to our guide here. Here, 1/2, if we punch that into the calculator, most people see this is just simply going fractions to decimal. most people recognize 1/2 as being 0.5, right? So 0.5. So this one's equal to 0.5. This number is going to be a decimal as well, 3/8 that you just simply put in your calculator. Pretty simple stuff, 0.375. This number is what we call an improper fraction. The numerator is greater than the denominator. This one is what's called a mixed number. Okay, so these two are similar in the sense that they're both greater than 1. This value, these three values are all less than 1, right? 9/11 is about 0.88 or 0.82. Notice it repeats. Let's talk about these two fractions here. So 306 divided by 9 is equivalent to 34.33333. So I could write this as 34 3/9, because 9 goes into 306 34 times with the remainder of 3. This is what's called a mixed number. This is what's called an improper fraction. I do not like using mixed numbers, because if I don't know the context, I might think this is 34 times 3/9, which it definitely is not. Same with this one. If I look at it, I might see it as 4 times 1/3, which it definitely is not, right? It's actually 4 plus 1/3. So a better way to write this mixed number is as an improper fraction. So this as an improper fraction, all you simply do is 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1, so that's equal to 13/3. All right, so from now on, I want them as improper fractions rather than mixed numbers. Okay? So with all these three are good. I'm not even going to worry about switching those to mixed numbers. Let's switch these three to improper fractions. So what this is stating is 9 goes into a number 5 times with the remainder of 7. So 9 times 5 plus 7. 9 times 5 plus 7 equals 52. So this number is actually 52/9, because it goes into 52 5 times to make 45 and then has a remainder of 7. This is bad, this is good. Same thing here, 8 times 11 is 88 plus 1, that's 89/11. And here, 13 times 14, and then plus 4. So 186/13. All right? Mixed numbers are bad, improper fractions are good. And just to show you, 8 and 1/11, 8 plus 1/11, right, is 8.099. Now let's put 89/11 and hopefully we get the same answer. And notice we do. Okay. Now let's talk about this using a little bit of a store command on your calculator. Within your TI-30, the store command is right here. Let me jump back. Let me do TI-30. And we'll jump to images. So here's a bunch of different calculators. There it is. Okay, so our store command is right here, STO. There's your store command. This is your caret for a greater power. This is simply x squared. So I could go 2 caret 2 is the same as doing squared. All right. Division, multiplication, minus, plus. This ANS key we use a lot. That basically saves your previous result. Okay. So you'll end up using that a lot. All right. Let's jump into here. So let's use this. Let's first do this fraction down here. I'm going to save it in memory, then I'm going to do 1 divided by whatever my memory is. So let's do 3 divided by 4 plus 7 divided by 8. So it does all the getting the common denominators and all that for me. So this fraction down, or this sum of fractions down here becomes 1.625. So this answer is actually 1 divided by 1.625. But what I can do here is I can go memory plus, so that stores the number in memory. For your other calculator, you would hit STO, and it would come up under a letter A, and you would hit equals. Okay. So I've stored it, so now let's do 1 divided by, and MR is memory recall. Notice it pulls that number up and hit equal. So the answer to this is 0.615. So this one is approximately 0.615. I use this symbol because I rounded that decimal. So it is not exactly the same. All right? And same thing with this. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the denominator first and store it. So let's go 5 divided by 8 plus 8 equals memory plus. Let's clear the memory and then go memory plus. Alright, and now let's do open parentheses. So I want to do this numerator in parentheses. 3 minus 2 divided by 3. So it'll do this division first and then do 3 minus 2/3. And I want to divide by memory recall by this number, and I get equals. So this is approximately 0.271. And so on. Okay? So the other ones are the same type of way. Let's talk a little bit about scientific notation. First of all, I'm going to check my time because YouTube does not like videos that are much longer than half an hour. That's where I upload these to. So I'll always check on this to make sure I'm not over 30 minutes. All right. So why do we use scientific notation? Well, the main reason is to express really, really big numbers in a concise format. All right, or really, really small numbers. So if you think about scientists, they're doing stuff with outer space, measuring the distance of stars or from other celestial bodies. They deal with very, very big numbers like these. And rather than write out all these zeros, we'd rather have a concise way to write this. Also, if you're a chemist, you deal with very, very small values. If we're talking about angstroms, right, or the size of an atom or a molecule, we deal with very, very small decimals. So we want a concise way to write this without having to write out all these zeros. And what if we skip a zero as we're writing this? We get a completely wrong number. So that's why scientific notation is useful. The way to do it, to go from a regular number to scientific notation, is find out where the decimal is. In both of these numbers, the decimal is going to be at the end, right? Right there and right here. So now you determine how many spaces you have to move that decimal so there is one non-zero number to the left of the decimal. One non-zero number to the left of the decimal. So here I need to move this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So 600 million, right? That number is 600 million, can be written as 6.0 times 10. Now, since this number is really big, I'm going to write it with a positive exponent. If it was really small, like these numbers, I'll end up writing with a negative exponent. So how many times did I move it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 6.0 times 10 to the 8th times 9.0 times 10 squared. Now, the nice thing about this is since these are all being multiplied, it doesn't matter what order I do it in. I can multiply 10 to the 8th and 10 squared together right now. When I multiply like bases, I simply add the exponents. So 10 to the 8th times 10 squared is 10 to the 10th. So this is equal to something times 10 to the 10th. 9 times 6 is 54. So this is 54 times 10 to the 10th. But this number isn't exactly correct because we need our decimal to be right here, to be 5.4 instead of 54. So that's equivalent to 5.4 times 10 to the 11th, because I moved the decimal one more time. So now if I move this decimal to the right 11 times, I will get the same value. So this number is equal to 5.4 times 10 to the 11th. Right? Now let's look at really small numbers. Okay, so now how many times do I have to move the decimal here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So this becomes 2 point, kind of erase that, make it a little prettier. This becomes 2.1578 times 10 to the negative, because this is a really small number. How many times do we move the decimal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Times 2.589 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4 to the negative 4. Same thing, I can combine these values. So I'm going to get something times 10 to the negative 10th, and I can simply put those two values in my calculator. So 2.1578 times 2.589. And since this only has one number to the left, I don't need to worry about moving the decimal like I had to do over here. So let's go 5.587, we'll call it. Okay? So notice this number is very, very small. This number is very, very small. This number is very, very big, which is what we were anticipating. Okay? So this number has 1 and then 9 zeros before it. So you can see why that gets a lot easier to do in scientific notation rather than writing it out. So let's do this one. Express this in scientific notation. So it's going to be 3.87 times 10 to the negative what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there it is. This next one said, is 3.7 times 10 to the negative 6 equal to 3.7 divided by 10 to the 6th? If so, why? It is the same. I want you to investigate exactly why. You know, think about it here. We are dividing. Here we're dividing by a very big number. So that's going to make this really small. Also, as we'll see later on in the semester, when we have a negative exponent, it puts it in the bottom of the fraction. That's what the negative exponent implies. All right. And there's our scientific notation assignment. It is due 6/13 at midnight. Okay? So that's basically what I would cover in one face-to-face class normally during the semester. This is a summer school class, so we have to move much, much faster. Order of operations. This is very important. PEMDAS. I cover this order of operations very, very well within our Google Plus Math 114 online circle. And it is right here. Order of operations from Unit 1. And I also, at the very bottom of the page, another student asked for something to brush up. And I put this. Here's a link for some videos to help you brush up. It's a Khan Academy video about order of operations. Okay, so there's more ways to help you with order of operations. Plenty of help. And there's the other video there. Okay. Okay, order of operations. The pre-class is due 6/13. I explained these in my other video. And we do talk about some irrational numbers and plotting values on a number line. The number E, so all this stuff talks about it. This is how we deal with the not a real number stuff, like in our very first examples. you basically create an I here. I means square root of negative 1. So what you want to do is take square root of negative 16 and make it look like this, negative 1 times the square root of 16, which you're allowed to do in radicals. So this is just I, square root of 16 is 4, so that answer is 4I. And that's how you do it, okay? Order of operations in number systems, this is due 613. Same with this is due 613. This one, there's a video for it. There's not really any sound that goes along with it. So what I'm going to do is start my video. The next one I'll either make this afternoon or tomorrow morning. And I'll start right here and go through the rest of the stuff in this unit. So notice there's one more lesson and then a lesson on complex numbers, which we've already messed with a little bit. And then some exponent stuff, and we're done. Now this unit really covers a lot of material, okay? After this unit, we're going to be a little bit more directed on what we're going to cover. But in this unit, we kind of have to make sure that you have the tools to be successful later on. So this unit covers a lot of material. It's kind of big, okay? It's going to take some time to understand it all, okay? So starting with the next video, will be right here. You know, when I posted a Khan Academy video that talks about interval notation, okay, inequalities, it's right here. So interval notation is and formulas. This video doesn't have any sound, but it does step you through what's going on. There's complex fractions, which is the next one, and rational exponents. So there's the 3 videos I'll make for tomorrow. They'll cover interval notation, complex fractions, and rational exponents, okay? Alrighty, and then there's your preliminary topics exam instructions, and I also put a very useful, here's a useful Khan Academy video that helps you with plotting inequalities, number lines, interval notation, all that type of stuff. Alright guys, after you watch this video, will you +1 it for me by pressing this +1 button? See how all these posts have a +1? That's basically like a like, just so that I know you watched it. Alright guys, thank you.